Imagine walking into a hospital, terrified, shaking, unable to breathe. A doctor slowly opens your medical report, and then comes the sentence millions fear more than death itself. You have cancer. For decades, cancer has been humanity's nightmare, a disease that destroys families, drains hope, and takes millions of lives every single year. But what if everything we believed about cancer was about to change? What if scientists discovered a way not just to fight cancer, but to reverse it? Not shrink it, not slow it down, but actually force cancer cells to become normal again. It sounds impossible, like science fiction, like something from the future. Yet inside laboratories around the world, researchers are making discoveries so shocking that some experts believe the next revolution in medicine may already have begun. Could cancer one day become curable? Could tumors be switched off like a light? And why are some scientists warning that this breakthrough could completely transform human history? Tonight, we uncover the truth. Welcome back to the channel. If you love deep documentaries about science, health, and the future of humanity, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see cancer forever. Chapter 1. The disease that terrified humanity. Cancer is not just one disease, it's hundreds of diseases. And for centuries, humans barely understood it. Ancient Egyptian texts describe strange lumps growing inside the body thousands of years ago. Greek physicians later used the word karkinos, meaning crab, because tumors seemed to spread like claws through human flesh. For most of history, cancer was a death sentence. There was no chemotherapy, no radiation, no surgery capable of stopping advanced tumors. People simply watched loved ones slowly fade away. Then came the 20th century. Modern medicine exploded with innovation. Scientists discovered radiation therapy. Chemotherapy drugs emerged after World War II. Surgeons became more advanced. And for the first time, humanity began fighting back. But cancer adapted, because cancer is terrifyingly intelligent. It evolves, it changes, it learns how to survive. Every time medicine develops a weapon, cancer often finds another path. That's why many treatments are brutal. Chemotherapy kills fast-growing cells, but it also damages healthy cells. Hair falls out, energy disappears, the immune system weakens. Some patients survive, others don't. And even after remission, cancer can return years later. More aggressive, more resistant, more deadly. Today, cancer kills nearly 10 million people globally every year. Think about that. That's more than many wars combined. Almost every family on Earth has been touched by cancer in some way. A mother, a father, a child, a friend. Which is why scientists have spent decades asking one terrifying question. What if we've been fighting cancer the wrong way all along? Chapter 2. What cancer really is. To understand how cancer might be reversed, we first need to understand what cancer actually is. Your body contains trillions of cells. Every second, millions die and millions are replaced. Normally, this process is tightly controlled. Cells grow, cells divide, cells die when they should. But cancer changes the rules. A single damaged cell mutates. Its DNA becomes corrupted. Instead of obeying the body's commands, it begins acting independently. It refuses to die. It keeps multiplying. Soon, one cell becomes two become four become thousands, then millions. Eventually, a tumor forms. And here's the horrifying part. Cancer cells are technically your own cells. That's why fighting cancer is so difficult. Your immune system struggles to recognize them as enemies. Cancer hides inside the body like a traitor. Even worse, tumors can spread. This process is called metastasis. Cancer cells break away, travel through blood or lymph systems, and invade other organs. A cancer that began in the lungs may suddenly appear in the brain, or liver, or bones. And once cancer spreads extensively, survival becomes far more difficult. For decades, scientists believed cancer was basically irreversible. Once a normal cell became cancerous, that was it. Game over. But then something shocking happened. Researchers started discovering evidence that cancer cells might not be permanently evil, and that changed everything. Chapter 3. The discovery that shocked scientists. In recent years, scientists began observing something extraordinary in laboratories. Under certain conditions, cancer cells appeared capable of changing back. Not dying, not being destroyed, actually reverting toward normal behavior. At first, researchers were skeptical. Some thought it was a mistake. Others believed the results couldn't possibly be repeated. But experiment after experiment suggested the same thing. Cancer cells might be reprogrammable. This idea is revolutionary because it changes the entire philosophy of cancer treatment. Instead of bombing tumors with toxic chemicals, what if doctors could simply convince cancer cells to stop being cancer? Think about that. Instead of destruction, transformation. This concept became especially exciting after breakthroughs in genetics and cellular biology. Scientists discovered that cancer is deeply connected to gene expression. Genes inside cells can be switched on or off like biological software. Certain genes encourage cell growth, others suppress tumors. If the wrong genes activate, cancer can emerge. But what if those genetic switches could be reset? Suddenly, reversing cancer no longer sounded impossible. It sounded scientifically plausible. And that possibility launched one of the most important medical races in human history. Chapter 4. The Power of the Immune System. One of the biggest breakthroughs came from an unexpected place: the human immune system. For decades, researchers wondered why the immune system sometimes failed to destroy cancer. After all, our immune system kills viruses and bacteria constantly. Why not tumors? Then scientists discovered something shocking. Cancer cells can manipulate the immune system. They essentially wear disguises. They send signals telling immune cells, "Don't attack me." It's like a criminal convincing police officers he belongs there. This led to the rise of immunotherapy. Instead of directly attacking cancer, immunotherapy helps the immune system recognize tumors again. And the results have been extraordinary. Some terminal cancer patients who had no hope left suddenly entered remission. Tumors disappeared. Patients survived years longer than expected. In some cases, cancer became undetectable. The world was stunned, because this proves something important. The body may already possess the tools needed to defeat cancer. Scientists just needed to learn how to activate them. And that idea opened the door to an even bigger question. If the immune system can suppress cancer, could the body eventually reverse it completely? Chapter 5. The Science of Cellular Reprogramming. Now we enter one of the most mind-blowing areas of modern biology: cellular reprogramming. In 2006, scientist Shinya Yamanaka made a discovery so revolutionary that it won the Nobel Prize. He found that ordinary adult cells could be reprogrammed into stem cell-like states. In simple words, cells could be reset. It was like turning back biological time. Suddenly, scientists realized cells are more flexible than previously believed. Identity inside the body is not always permanent. And if normal cells can be reprogrammed, what about cancer cells? Researchers began experimenting. Some studies showed cancer cells could be forced into less aggressive states. Others managed to transform malignant cells into functioning, healthy-like cells under laboratory conditions. This was astonishing, because it suggested cancer may not always need to be destroyed. Sometimes, it might need to be rewritten. Imagine if cancer cells were like corrupted computer files. Traditional treatments tried deleting them, but future medicine might repair the code instead. That possibility is why some scientists now believe the future of oncology could look completely different from today. Chapter 6. Why cancer is so hard to cure. But before we get too excited, there's a problem. Cancer is unbelievably complicated. No two cancers are exactly alike. Even within the same tumor, different cells may behave differently. Some grow rapidly, some stay dormant, some resist drugs, others mutate constantly. This diversity makes cancer one of the hardest medical challenges ever faced. And tumors are smart. Researchers discovered cancers can create entire ecosystems inside the body. They recruit blood vessels, manipulate nearby tissues, suppress immune attacks, adapt to hostile environments. It's almost like an evolving civilization inside the human body. That's why a universal cure for cancer has remained elusive. There probably won't be one single magic bullet. Instead, future treatments may involve highly personalized approaches: genetic analysis, immune engineering, precision medicine, AI-guided therapies, and perhaps most importantly, cellular reprogramming. Scientists increasingly believe the future may involve controlling cancer rather than simply destroying it. And that shift could redefine medicine forever. Chapter 7. The Role of AI in Cancer Research. Artificial intelligence is now accelerating cancer research at incredible speed. AI systems can analyze enormous medical datasets far faster than humans. They can detect patterns invisible to doctors. In some cases, AI has identified cancers earlier than medical experts. And early detection changes everything. The earlier cancer is found, the higher the survival rate. But AI may do even more. Researchers are using machine learning to predict how tumors evolve, which drugs will work, which mutations are dangerous, how cancer cells communicate. Some scientists believe AI could eventually help design individualized treatments for every patient on Earth. Imagine going to a hospital in the future. Doctors scan your tumor. AI analyzes billions of biological variables in seconds, then creates a custom treatment unique to your body. That future may sound distant, but parts of it are already happening right now. And combined with genetic engineering, the results could become revolutionary. Chapter 8, the hidden connection between aging and cancer. Here's something many people don't realize. Cancer and aging are deeply connected. As we age, DNA damage accumulates. Cells become less efficient at repairing themselves. The immune system weakens. Mutations increase. That's one reason cancer risk rises dramatically with age. But this discovery created another shocking idea. If scientists learn how to slow biological aging, could cancer rates also fall? Researchers studying longevity now believe aging itself may be treatable, and some anti-aging technologies overlap directly with cancer research. For example, improving DNA repair, reducing inflammation, enhancing immune function, removing damaged cells. All of these strategies may reduce cancer risk, which means future cancer prevention might begin decades before tumors ever appear. Imagine a world where cancer becomes rare because humans age differently. That possibility is no longer pure fantasy. Major laboratories and biotech companies are investing billions into these questions, because if aging and cancer are connected, solving one problem may help solve the other. Chapter 9, the most promising experiments. Some of the most exciting cancer reversal research involves animal studies. In certain experiments, scientists have managed to force cancer cells into normal developmental pathways. Others have used genetic editing tools like CRISPR to target cancer-driving mutations. CRISPR is essentially molecular scissors. It allows researchers to edit DNA with incredible precision. Some scientists hope it may eventually remove cancer-causing mutations directly. Imagine editing disease out of the human body. That's the promise. Meanwhile, researchers are exploring therapies that alter the tumor environment itself. Because cancer depends on signals from surrounding tissues. Interrupt those signals, and tumors may weaken dramatically. Other experimental treatments involve engineered viruses that attack tumors, nanotechnology delivering drugs directly into cancer cells, personalized vaccines, stem cell therapies, immune cell engineering. One especially powerful treatment called CAR T therapy already uses genetically modified immune cells to attack certain cancers. And for some patients, the results have been life-saving. These advances suggest humanity is entering a completely new era in medicine, not just fighting disease, but redesigning biology itself. Chapter 10. Could cancer become a manageable condition? Think about HIV. Decades ago, an HIV diagnosis was often fatal. Today, many patients live long lives thanks to medical advances. Some scientists believe cancer could follow a similar path. Instead of one universal cure, cancer may become manageable, controlled, contained. Patients could live with it for decades, or prevent it from progressing at all. Already, survival rates for many cancers have improved significantly over the last few decades. Some childhood cancers now have survival rates above 80 or even 90%. That would have seemed miraculous generations ago. The problem is inequality. Advanced treatments are often expensive. Many people around the world still lack access to basic cancer care. So even if revolutionary therapies emerge, will everyone benefit equally? That question may become one of the biggest ethical challenges of the future, because a world where only the rich can access life-saving biotechnology could create enormous global inequality. And scientists are increasingly warning about that possibility. Chapter 11, the psychological war of cancer. Cancer doesn't only attack the body, it attacks the mind. Fear, anxiety, depression, hopelessness. Patients often describe feeling trapped inside uncertainty, waiting for scan results, wondering if treatments are working, living in fear of recurrence. This emotional burden can be overwhelming. That's why future cancer care may become more holistic, not just targeting tumors, but supporting mental health, nutrition, sleep, exercise, and emotional resilience. Researchers increasingly understand that the body and mind are interconnected. Stress affects hormones. Hormones affect immunity. Immunity affects disease. This doesn't mean emotions cause cancer, but overall health absolutely influences recovery and quality of life. Future medicine may combine biotechnology with personalized wellness strategies in ways we are only beginning to understand. Chapter 12, the controversial question. Now comes the controversial part. Some researchers believe certain cancers might eventually become reversible. Others strongly disagree. Critics warn that headlines about curing cancer often exaggerate early findings, and they're right to be cautious. Many promising treatments succeed in mice, but fail in humans. Cancer is incredibly adaptive. What works in a laboratory may not work inside a complex human body. That's why scientific progress is slow, careful, measured. But despite skepticism, momentum is growing. More laboratories are exploring reprogramming therapies. More biotech companies are investing billions. More clinical trials are underway. And while nobody can promise a universal cure, many experts believe the next 20 years could transform cancer medicine more than the previous 100 combined. That's an astonishing statement, and it's coming from serious scientists, not science fiction writers. Chapter 13, The Future Hospital. Imagine entering a hospital in the year 2050. A tiny blood sample is taken. AI instantly scans your entire genetic profile. Nanotechnology searches your bloodstream for abnormal cells before tumors even form. If dangerous mutations appear, doctors deploy personalized immune cells engineered specifically for your body. Gene editing systems repair damaged DNA. Cancer cells are reprogrammed before they spread. Treatment takes days instead of months. No devastating chemotherapy. No severe radiation burns. No endless suffering. It sounds futuristic, but many technologies needed for that future already exist in early forms today. The question is not whether science is advancing. The question is how fast, and whether humanity can make these treatments accessible to everyone. Chapter 14. Why some scientists believe we are at a turning point. There are moments in history when everything changes. The discovery of antibiotics, the invention of vaccines, the mapping of the human genome. Some researchers believe cancer science is approaching another turning point right now. Why? Because multiple revolutions are happening simultaneously. Artificial intelligence, genetics, nanotechnology, stem cell biology, immunotherapy, data science. Each field alone is powerful. Together, they may completely redefine medicine. For the first time in human history, scientists can observe cancer at molecular resolution. They can watch tumors evolve cell by cell, track mutations in real time, edit genes, engineer immune cells, and design therapies specifically tailored to individual patients. This level of precision was unimaginable decades ago, which is why some experts believe the impossible may eventually become possible. Not overnight, not magically, but gradually, step by step, breakthrough by breakthrough. Chapter 15, Stories that Inspire Hope. There are patients alive today who were once told they had no chance. Terminal diagnoses, months to live, no options remaining. Then experimental therapies changed everything. Some entered remission for years. Others watched tumors disappear unexpectedly. Doctors were stunned. These stories don't prove cancer has been conquered, but they prove something equally important. Hope matters. Science evolves, and history repeatedly shows that diseases once considered unstoppable can eventually be controlled. Tuberculosis once terrified humanity. Polio crippled millions. Smallpox killed entire civilizations. Then medicine changed history. Cancer may be one of the greatest remaining battles, but for the first time, scientists are beginning to glimpse possibilities that once seemed impossible. Chapter 16, The Dangers of False Hope. However, there's also danger. Whenever people hear the words cancer cure, misinformation spreads rapidly online. Fake miracle treatments, conspiracy theories, dangerous pseudoscience. Desperate patients can become vulnerable to scams. That's why evidence matters. Real science requires clinical trials, peer review, replication, careful testing, not viral headlines, not miracle promises. And responsible scientists emphasize that cancer remains one of humanity's greatest medical challenges. Progress is real, but it is not magic. The future of cancer treatment will likely involve many different approaches working together. And while breakthroughs are exciting, patience is essential. Chapter 17. What you can do right now. Even while science searches for better treatments, there are things people can do today to reduce cancer risk. Not all cancers are preventable. Genetics matter. Environment matters. Random mutations happen, but research shows lifestyle still plays a major role. Avoid smoking, maintain healthy body weight, exercise regularly, limit excessive alcohol, protect skin from extreme sun exposure, get recommended screenings, eat balanced nutrition, sleep properly. These actions cannot guarantee prevention, but they can significantly reduce risk. And early detection saves lives. Many cancers become far more treatable when caught early. That's why awareness matters, knowledge matters, and science communication matters, because informed people make better health decisions. The philosophical question: what happens if humanity eventually conquers cancer? Think about the implications: longer lifespans, reduced suffering, massive changes in healthcare systems, economic transformations, population shifts. Cancer has shaped human history emotionally, medically, and culturally. A world where cancer becomes manageable would change civilization itself. And it raises profound philosophical questions. If humans live much longer, how does society change? What happens to aging, to retirement, to population growth, to human identity itself? Medical breakthroughs don't just change biology, they change civilization. And cancer research may eventually become one of the defining stories of the 21st century. The scientists working in silence. Right now, somewhere in the world, scientists are sitting in laboratories late at night, studying cells under microscopes, running genetic simulations, testing experimental drugs, failing, trying again. Most people will never know their names, but their work may save millions of lives in the future. Science often advances quietly, slowly, one experiment at a time. Then suddenly, everything changes. And perhaps one day, humanity will look back at this era as the moment the war against cancer truly began to turn. Final chapter. So, can cancer really be reversed? Here's the truth. Scientists have not discovered a universal cure for cancer, not yet, but they are uncovering something extraordinary. Cancer may be far more controllable, adaptable, and reversible than previously believed. The old idea that cancer cells are permanently unstoppable is beginning to crack. Immunotherapy has transformed survival for some patients. Genetic engineering is rewriting biology. AI is accelerating discovery. Cellular reprogramming is opening doors once thought impossible. And every year, medicine becomes more precise, more personalized, more powerful. Will cancer disappear completely someday? Nobody knows. But for the first time in history, scientists can realistically imagine futures where many cancers are prevented, controlled, or even reversed. And that possibility alone is revolutionary, because hope backed by science is one of the most powerful forces on Earth.